Hello friends, welcome to yet another session on essay perspectives. The topic for today is sarcasm, the last refuge of chaste-souled individuals when their privacy is coarsely invaded. As always, I have a personal request friends, third edition of my book Ethics, Integrity and Aptitude has unfortunately been pirated. Pirated copies are of very low paper and print quality. I urge all of you to buy original. So the original copies can be bought by clicking the link here or by scanning the QR code. Friends, as always, every essay has to be first conceptualized as being made of various components and subcomponents. So here this essay can be conceptualized as being split into these components and subcomponents. First we would introduce the topic, then we would discuss the deliberate and the essence of the topic, then we would discuss the power of sarcasm, like how would sarcasm helps, then we would talk about limitations of sarcasm, then we would discuss the scenarios where one has to go beyond sarcasm. Then if sarcasm fails, what are the other means available? Then we would conclude. Friends, as soon as I saw this topic, I was reminded of a famous anecdote. It is a conversation or it is an incident that happened when a guru and his shishya, so the guru and his disciple, or they are roaming, they are going from one village to another village. So en route they had to cross a river or a stream, whatever you may call. Then at the bank of the stream stands a lady who is scared to cross the stream. Then she seeks the help of Guru in crossing the stream. Then Guru offers to help her. Guru lifts her and holds her and then takes her to the other bank of the stream. She thanks him profusely and she departs. Then this actually, of course, Guru and Shishya both are saints, okay? They are monks. But this scenario cannot be digested by the disciple. He is aghast at the help extended by the Guru, and he is shocked to see a Guru holding a woman and crossing the stream. Then he keeps on murmuring, he keeps on saying, arguing with the Guru that no, you should not have done that, this is not right. We are we are saints, we are monks, we are over and above worldly pleasures, whatnot, etc., etc., etc. Then after hearing his arguments or words, whatever, then after some time, then the Guru replies with only one sentence. So I dropped her then itself, but you are carrying her or you are holding her for a longer time. So that means Guru physically dropped her as soon as he crossed the stream, but this disciple is still carrying her in his mind. This reply actually shook the disciple. Okay, so this is sarcasm. Friends, see, let us say you have done something and somebody who is subordinate to you, like disciple, when he or she starts questioning you, he or she picks up an argument with you and directly criticizing you for a particular act, being his or her superior, he could have, that Guru can resort to any means. Like Guru can scold at him, shout at him, do whatever he wants. He can just say that no, I don't want to continue as your spiritual Guru, you please get lost. Whatever, he can pick up a fight, he can fight with him, whatever he can do, because he is a Guru. But yet, this Guru is a chaste-souled Guru. Since he is a chaste-souled Guru, then he keeps quiet. He listens to him for a long time. So when the threshold crosses, when he feels that he cannot take it anymore, rather than resorting to any other violent means or unacceptable means, he just gives a sarcastic reply that defines what he is, and that makes amply clear to the disciple to shut his mouth. Correct? So this is the power of sarcasm. So, and here also, see, if you observe, see, it's a personal thing of Guru. Guru has his own privacy, right? So he can help somebody, he can hold somebody, he can take somebody, help somebody, whoever it is. So now this disciple is questioning him and he is coarsely invading his privacy. Correct? Something like that. So then Guru finally, after giving lot of patient hearing, finally he ends that scenario by a sarcastic reply. Okay, so this is how mostly chaste-souled individuals resort to sarcasm when their privacy is coarsely invaded, that too as a last refuge. Okay friends, now after introducing the topic, it is time for delving deep into the essence of the topic. If you see the essay statement, there are many key terms. Unless you understand the meaning of every key term and make it very clear to the reader, you would not be setting the right context for this essay. So the first key term is obviously the sarcasm, most important key term. So what is sarcasm? Sarcasm is basically a mocking remark. It's mockery basically. I mean, not exactly mockery also. To explain it in detail, see, this is basically speaking something in such a way that the meaning that is being conveyed is diametrically opposite to the literal meaning of the words that are used. So you're using a particular phrase, but you are actually conveying something else, diametrically opposite that. So whenever you see someone who is not that intelligent, you would say, you are very intelligent. Arey yaar, how can we beat with you? You are like Albert Einstein, something and all we talk. So that means literally we are praising him, but we are conveying him that he is not what we are actually talking. So that is what we call sarcasm. So this is mostly done in order to insult someone or irritate someone, or I mean these are the primary reasons. Okay, so the speaking a word but conveying an opposite meaning is what we call sarcasm. So then what is last refuge? Last refuge essentially means the usage of or a choice, the last choice basically. So the implementation of something, picking up something only after all other options are exhausted, that is what we call last refuge. Okay, then chaste-souled individuals. Chaste-souled individual. So what is chaste? Chastity means virtuous, being good, having good qualities. So that is chaste. Souled, chaste-souled. That means you are not being good by choice, but you are being good by chance. Okay, I mean it may sound a little difficult to comprehend. See, whenever you become good by choice, that means even when your inner self, your conscience, whatever it says, but still against your conscience you go and you pick a right thing, then you are being chaste-souled by choice, because you are making a choice. It is by chance. That means you are endowed, you are genetically endowed to be good. That is what I can say. So your soul itself is pure. Your soul itself is filled with lot of chaste qualities that makes you a virtuous individual. It is you're good by heart. To talk in simplest terms, you're good by heart. Okay, you are not trying to be good after being rational and after knowing that whatever your heart saying is wrong, but your mind says no, this is not right. So that's a different story. But here your heart itself says always good things. So you are good by heart. So that is a chaste-souled individual. Coerce invasion of privacy. Friends, coerce invasion of privacy essentially means, see friends, this you should take it as one phrase. See, finally what happens? It is a scenario. It is the most heinous, most humiliating scenario that can happen to anyone. See, everybody wants to have privacy, right? That too, see, invasion of privacy is something which nobody tolerates. but that too, this is coerced invasion of privacy. That means somebody is just running into your life forcefully, which is the least good that can happen to anyone. It is the most humiliating thing that can happen to anyone. So that means here this phrase refers to the most humiliating thing that can happen. So okay, now let us bring together the meaning of all those things. Whenever individuals who are good by heart, okay, they encounter the most humiliating scenario, they would initially try to act maturedly, they would try to act dignifiedly, they would try to act virtuously, and that's how they would act even if they are confronted with the most humiliating thing that can happen. But maximum when that humiliating scenario deepens, strengthens, and finally the threshold, it reaches a threshold, then the chaste individuals, even at such point of time, they would resort to the last thing that they would resort to is only sarcasm. They would not do anything beyond sarcasm. So they would try to shut up the other person's acts or behavior by just giving a sarcastic reply. That means according to them, even sarcastic reply is not the right thing because they are good by heart, but yet that is the only thing that they can resort to. Okay, so this is the broad meaning of topic. Now friends, it sounds very difficult to get convinced that sarcasm can save you from the most humiliating scenario. But how would sarcasm do that? Thus we need to understand the power of sarcasm. First thing is, actually speaking, sarcasm is very effective. Very effective. Because first thing is, whenever you give a sarcastic reply, it is very hard to get any opposition for that. The targeted person at whom this sarcasm is targeted cannot immediately respond also, because literally you are actually speaking something else. So that means if somebody has suddenly coming and commenting on your life, on your relationship, whatever, rather than asking him to keep quiet, don't talk, you don't have any right to talk about my relationship, my personal things, you are saying that, oh, you want to talk more? I'll give you more information. Okay, yes, I did that, I did this, yes, we fought, we broke up, so etc. etc. So thus, how can he literally counter? Tell me. So when you go to a confrontationist mode, then he can counter. But here you are actually speaking in the same lines in which the other person or the target is speaking. So thus it's very hard to counter. So you will win that argument mostly. He would understand the meaning, but he cannot counter that actually. That's the beauty of sarcasm. Second thing, touches the psyche. See, finally, it actually doesn't, the sarcastic replies are targeted at heart. It touches their psyche. They would soon realize that whatever they were doing is wrong. Correct? See, if somebody is suddenly saying that, let us say, there is a student who has not cleared UPSC. Correct? So everybody would come and mock at him or her, stating that, no, you have not studied at all. You should have given more test series. You should have done more writing practice. You should have done revision, etc. etc. This is actually, then that fellow, if he starts saying, yes, I did, despite working hard, somebody not getting through is a possibility. The other person, the target is simply poking into him. So then if he or she starts saying, yes, I didn't read at all. Yes, I didn't do any test series. I was just watching movies, I was loitering in the streets of Rajendra Nagar, I just enjoyed life, I didn't read any book. Correct, you're right. If you speak like that, it touches their psyche. Then suddenly what would be their reply? They would say, no, we didn't mean to tell that. We were just trying to tell you that you could have worked harder, you could have done more writing practice. So then their track only would change. Why would that happen? Because your reply has touched their psyche. Or alternately, if that person starts saying, no yaar, I worked very hard, but I wrote so many test series, I did so many revisions, then they would give the next reply. If you had really worked so hard, then why did you not get an interview call, or why did your name not figure in the list? Then you have no answer. So thus it has the power to touch the psyche. Then another advantage of sarcasm is that it will not cause any ill will, it will not cause any ill effect on the target also. That's the beauty of sarcasm. So you have just spoken something, he has understood his mistake, the matter ends there. But if you were to do something else in anger, in haste, whatever, other than this, it may lead to some damage on the other side. So that is not right? Because we really don't know what, in retaliation to an humiliating scenario, we may be creating another humiliating scenario. Correct? That is a very, very likely scenario actually. That is again not right? Because an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind, as all of us are aware. So, but this sarcasm will not create any ill will. So finally, we are just trying to defend ourselves without spewing venom on anyone else. So then, the last thing is long-lasting impact. See, finally, since they touch the psyche, so it gets registered in their mind and it has a long-lasting impact. There may be scenarios that such one or two replies would change the lives of the people forever also. A person who is on the path of destruction may get shifted to path of construction. So we seriously don't know. The best illustration being the story of Angulimala. Angulimala was on the path of terror. He was killing people left, right and center. So, but when he was killing people left, right and center and causing so much hardship, so much with lot of ill will, then suddenly one day he meets Buddha. When he meets Buddha, he asks Buddha to stop. What does Buddha say? Buddha simply gives a sarcastic reply. I have stopped, you have not. Correct? What does that mean? Basically, see, imagine this scenario. See, Buddha is going in his way. His privacy is being coarsely invaded by Angulimala because he wants to kill Buddha. Correct? So he is just getting into his life. Simple. Then what does Buddha? Buddha could have taken some stick, could have started fighting with him. Then what would have happened? Then he would also have fought back. Finally, somebody would have definitely died. But what does Buddha do? Buddha says, no. Buddha simply says, I have stopped, you have not stopped. Then Angulimala doesn't understand. Then deeper, then he says, I have stopped killing people, I have stopped ill-treating people, I have stopped troubling others, but you have not stopped doing that. That one sentence changes Angulimala. Angulimala, an epitome of terror, an epitome of evil, an epitome of ill will, would transform into an epitome of epitome of spirituality. Finally, he takes the vow and he becomes a monk. Correct? So that is the power of sarcastic reply. So that one sarcastic reply has a long-lasting impact on Angulimala. He never again committed that mistake. So this is, another, most of us, we are also aware, most of the, in colleges and all, many students who in college hostels, boarding schools, etc., who indulge in ragging and all. So there are many scenarios where the juniors would give one sarcastic reply and this would make them realize that whatever they are doing is wrong and they stop doing it and they would never do ragging ever in their life. So these scenarios are common. So why? Because that is the power of sarcasm. This is, see, sarcasm works one, because it is very effective. Second, for a chaste-souled individual, his conscience permits only sarcasm. The most that his conscience can permit is sarcasm. His conscience would not dare to permit anything beyond sarcasm. Why is it so? Because that chaste individual does not have any intention to hurt anybody. When you genuinely feel nobody should get hurt by you, by your deed, by your act, by your action, by your thought, by your behavior, whatever, then would you definitely do that? No, because your conscience something holds you back. So that is one reason why the most that chaste-souled individual can resort to is sarcasm, nothing beyond that. Next, empathy. See, this chaste-souled individual and empathy are a full package. If you are a chaste-souled individual, obviously you have empathy. When you have empathy, obviously you would start thinking from the perspective of the other person also. So then most of the times you realize that the real reason for humiliation is not you, but not him, but you yourself. Because you triggered something and finally he retorted back, and now you are feeling bad. Maybe. So then that, and also if not that, at least you would definitely think that if I do anything to that person, how would that person feel? So that empathy would make you definitely would hold you back. Correct? Third one is forgiveness. Again, see, finally a chaste-souled individual has seen enough life, and the pinnacle, the aim of his personality is forgiveness. He is ready to forgive. He considers forgiveness to be the quality trait of the highest order. So he would forgive. So when you are a person in whom the revenge is not there, only the forgiveness is there, you would forgive. As simple as that. So because of these reasons, sarcasm is very, very powerful. So friends, as always, we have to make our essay critical. So where we should counter argue against the topic itself. So in order to introduce that element of criticality into this essay, we should now, after discussing the power of sarcasm, we should discuss about the limitations of sarcasm. Sarcasm is not always workable. It is not always powerful. Sarcasm there are some limitations attached to sarcasm. So sarcasm does not work when the target means a person who is invading the privacy coarsely. So when that person is not chaste-souled, when that person himself is not chaste-souled, then sarcasm will not work, because he does not understand the gravity of it. He is a person who is not virtuous. So he doesn't care. He is ready to trouble people. He gets something called that vicarious pleasure, and then things will not work. Sarcasm works effectively only when the target is also a chaste-souled individual. Oh, he feels that no, I should not have done this. So may not be as chaste-souled as you are, but at least he should also be somewhere close to you. Otherwise, some person who has the least amount of modicum respect for anything, then that person, it doesn't work at all. Then he is not smart. That means sometimes the target should be able to see. Sarcasm is not direct conveying of the meaning, right? It is roundabout way of saying that whatever you are doing is wrong. I object, I protest. But that he should be smart enough to catch and understand it. If he doesn't, if he takes your remark, if he takes your sarcasm on the face value rather than the actual value, real value, then things are gone. So then things will not work. It is of no use. Then he has a stronger motivation. That means he has a stronger motivation than you are. You are giving a sarcastic reply for something, but he has a very strong motivation to tinge you, to pinch you, to make you feel bad, to humiliate you. So this is what happens during many political debates. Correct? Finally, the idea is to humiliate someone, because if someone else is humiliated, the opponent is humiliated, then you get mileage out of it. You get more views on social media, whatever. So in such a scenario, your sarcastic replies will not stop anyone. Correct? So because he has a stronger motivation. Because humiliating you gives him more benefit. Okay, so thus we have understood that there are so many limitations to sarcasm, correct? Then when should one go beyond sarcasm? When there is limitation, you cannot keep quiet, right? You cannot keep getting humiliated, right? So the first thing is inevitability. So it is inevitable. Sarcasm is not working. You have to hold your ground. In such a scenario, you have to go to other means also. For example, let us say someone is trying to encroach a land belonging to you. Then there is a verbal fight. Finally, you have given many sarcastic replies, but he doesn't care, for the simple reason that for him being targeted with some sarcastic reply doesn't matter. He is not as beneficial. So for him, what is the objective? Because if he is able to encroach your land, that has more benefits, right? So then in such a scenario, your sarcastic reply will not help any much. So then obviously you have to go to court of law and get an injunction against him. How to approach court of law? Is there a way out? Absolutely no. So that you need to understand. So when the scenario is inevitable, you have given a sarcastic reply and he is not responding to it, he is not changing his ways, he is not mending his behavior, then you have to go to other means. Then paucity of time. See, normally this sarcasm to work, it would need some time. That person would go back to contemplation, then only he would come back, right? And also sometimes the chances that it may work, the chances that sarcasm works are not very high. When the chances are not very high, obviously it would be like a positive. There would be it can go your way or it can go the other way. So then you don't have a time to take that. Then obviously you have to make a choice that gives you 100% results. Correct? So you cannot afford to try with sarcasm and resort to other means only if it does not work. No, you don't have that a choice. So then you have to immediately act and go beyond sarcasm. Then sarcasm fails. See, you have tried sarcasm and it has failed. Would you continue to get humiliated? Absolutely no, right? Of course, you are a chaste-souled individual. First, you have shown your disapproval. First, you have been silent. Then you have shown your disapproval. Then you have graduated to the level of sarcasm. But the person target is not mending his or her ways. Then you have to, that means sarcasm has failed. When sarcasm has failed, you have to step in and you have to go to other means. So then that means it is very amply clear that there are circumstances and scenarios where a person has to go beyond sarcasm to protect his interests or to safeguard his interests. Then what are the other means available? He can resist broadly in two ways. One is physical resistance, second one is psychological resistance. By physical resistance we mean you are physically stopping that person from continuing his act. So the first and foremost thing is legal. So can you see, since he is not listening to you, you have to take recourse to court of law. So let us say somebody, many social media handles, many YouTube channels are spreading rumors against you. You have posted a video and gave him a lot of sarcastic remarks stating that you don't have any people who don't have any other work to do are doing this, something like that. You have given some sarcastic remark. Even then they have not stopped. Then what can you do? You have to go to court and you have to get an injunction against all of them that they should not spread any news without you, without any basis. Then they would stop. So thus the one means is legal, court of law. The second thing is mediation. Mediation matlab, see, this works when the target is also not a very hard, rigid person but a flexible guy. Then you can call a third party who is acceptable to you and him. You can sit, and that third party who is respected by you as well as the target, he would mediate between you and come up with, iron out some solution. Correct? So the sarcastic reply would not help. Somebody has to come and tell that fellow that whatever you are doing is wrong, you please don't do this, correct? Then extra legal, sometimes you cannot help. So that means if somebody is not stopping, then you let us say you have perhaps let us say you have gotten injunction against one person from encroaching your land. Even after getting that injunction, that person is coming and trying to encroach your land. Then what you have to do? For that timing, you have to stand there, you have to fight that out, you have to offer your physical resistance. If need be, you will also have to mobilize your strength to stop that fellow. Correct? Sometimes until legal recourse takes effect or whatever. So that is other extra legal means available. Then psychological resistance. So in physical resistance, you are physically stopping that fellow. In psychological resistance, you are creating a scenario, you are creating a psyche around that, you are creating a sense around the psyche of that fellow not to proceed. How is that normally done? So you are actually threatening him of negative consequences. You can very well say that today you have done this, but tomorrow if you have done this, it will happen to you. You can threaten him about the negative consequences of humiliating you. That negative consequences need not have to arise from you. It can happen anyway. Correct? So that they may get scared at times and they may back out. Third one is threat of retaliation. Sometimes it appears that if you dare to spread rumors against me, I will also spread rumors against you and bring bad disrepute to you. That is another way of creating psychological resistance. Then pressure from the targets near ones. So rather than asking that fellow to back out, you would know some persons who have an influence on him. Then you can approach them. This fellow may not be seeing sense in what you are saying, but someone around him, someone whom he respects may see sense in him, then they would put some sense in his mind. Okay, so these are other means. After this elaborate discussion, it is time for conclusion, friends. From the above discussion, we can safely conclude that chaste-souled individuals are good and they want to do good to others. In that scenario, they try to explore all possible benign means to exhibit their disapproval and stop the humiliation that is being meted out to them. So when the scenario reaches a threshold level, they would try to be a little sarcastic. But if that humiliation doesn't end, it is pertinent that they also should go beyond humiliation and try to safeguard their interests. Okay, friends? So that's it. Friends, before we close, I just wanted to give general 2-3 tips for this essay. I actually went through a few essays that are posted by students in this essay, weekly essay challenge. Friends, I am afraid, see, if you listen to my today's video, I have not given many examples. I have just given more arguments. What is the reason? Friends, actually I have told in multiple videos of mine before also, see, examples and illustrations should be used only to substantiate your arguments. Your argument should not be advanced through examples or illustrations. So many of you are getting carried away. See, this is like the examples are important to make essay readable, but that does not mean that you fill this essay totally with examples. I am seeing many people doing that. So that's actually very unfortunate. I never expected that, but please keep this in mind. Your essay, you have to give arguments. Those argument, let us say you have dedicated one paragraph to that one argument, then 80% of that paragraph should speak about your argument, then only 20% to illustrate. For instance, like that you can put and you can give an example, or the case of so and so also buttresses this fact, justifies this fact, etc., etc. So thus, please don't commit the mistake of giving arguments through examples. That is self-destructive, if I may say so. That is one thing. Second thing is, every component, one component afterwards the other component, before you go to component 2 from component 1, It has to be made explicitly clear. After, see, if you observe my videos, I always say after introducing the topic, it is time for delving deep into the essence of the topic. Once we have understood the essence of the topic, so we should now try to understand the merits of sarcasm. So like that you should write explicitly, so that it becomes clear to a reader that your essay is very coherent. So if you don't do these two things, your essay becomes messy. You may not end up with the same marks which otherwise you would have got. I think you would incorporate these things in the subsequent essays, friends. Thank you. Meet you next week with another video.